Thanks for joining us for today's annual State of the Campus address. And it's especially meaningful to be holding this event here in our new Lola and Rob Salazar Student Wellness Center. It really is beautiful, isn't it? Before I get started, I want to just call out a couple of folks who are here who represent leadership on our campus. We have the president of our Student Government Association, Matt Creasy, and we're glad to have Matt here. We have Dr. Peter Anthony-Madam, who is the chair or the president of our faculty council. Glad to have Peter here as well. And I haven't seen Jay Campbell, who heads the staff council for CU Denver Anschutz, but really glad to have the leadership that all three of them provide. The opening of this facility was one of the highlights of the past year. We know that supporting healthy lifestyles and the emotional and social well-being of our students is essential to their high-quality educational experience. So it's truly a wonderful addition to our campus. And this is the first time that I've seen the bleachers pulled out, and it looks great. Now we just need to have a basketball team out here that we are cheering on. So just prior to the official opening, I had a chance to tour the center with my daughter and 6-year-old granddaughter who were visiting from San Antonio. So upon seeing the climbing wall, Eiley, our granddaughter, was ready to scale it. And Amber appropriately let her know that she'd have to wait until she was a bit older. But then she discovered what she really wanted to see, which was the hot tub. So since then, she's eagerly shared with her classmates in the first grade, I'll have you know, that it holds 18 people, so they could almost all be in it together. So while we're not currently enjoying the ambiance of a hot tub, I'm glad that we're all together today. And the State of the Campus address gives us a chance to reflect on our collective achievements, do a checkup on our progress, and look to the future. In setting a context for my remarks, the adage of living in interesting times certainly seems apropos. A number of juxtapositions come to mind. We all know that the Colorado Front Range is experiencing growth that has brought tremendous opportunity, a robust and diversified economy, and an unemployment rate that is among the lowest in the nation. However, that growth has amplified economic disparity, lack of affordable housing, traffic congestion, environmental concerns, and unequal access to education and health care. National surveys tell us that most Americans see value in higher education, but 6 in 10 believe higher education is generally going in the wrong direction. Closer to home, nearly 3/4 of the jobs being created in Colorado require education beyond high school. But less than 1/3 of our city's adults who were born in Colorado have a college degree. And that statistic is even lower for people of color. This is especially concerning given that children of color make up a growing portion of our state's K-12 students. I would submit to you that there has never been a more important time for CU Denver. It is very clear that as Colorado's public urban research university, CU Denver fills a singular niche in contributing to the economic, social, and cultural vitality of our metropolitan region, our state, and beyond. It's for that reason that I often say that the work we do at CU Denver is a precious opportunity and a profound obligation. And almost 3 years into this job, I feel more passionately about that than ever. College is a bridge to opportunity, and with a student body that largely represents the socioeconomic and ethnically diverse demographics of our community, we are in the noble position to move the needle on 2 critical imperatives. The first is closing the attainment gap. The disparity in academic outcomes between groups of students based on ethnicity and income level is a challenge, and we're positioned to do something about it. The same is the case with developing the professional workforce of the future, because we need and must graduate students with the creativity, initiative, and knowledge to be change agents, problem solvers, and decision makers in their jobs and in the community. In 2016, we established 5 strategic priorities for CU Denver. In addition to coalescing our collective work, these priorities are an expression of our values, the things we care about and hold ourselves accountable for. I'd like to provide an update on the considerable progress we've made on these over the last year and how that shapes our work going forward. As I review each one, I ask you each to reflect on your part in our success and what more is possible in the future. The first is to elevate student success through increased enrollment, retention, and graduation. We welcomed 15,232 students to our campus this fall, a new record enrollment. This includes 3,000 new undergraduate links, about evenly divided between first-year, first-time students and transfer students, as well as 900 new graduate students. Overall, our student body grew by 1.5%. Our student body continues to reflect our community, and you'll see up on the slide a profile of those students. You see that we continue, as I said earlier, to reflect the socioeconomic and ethnicity diversity of our community. And this is why, when we invest in these students, that we change their trajectory forever, as well as for the generations that follow. So that's why our highest priority is to help every single one of our students succeed. We have established goals and are measuring our progress on persistence and graduation rates. You'll see that from first year to second year, the persistence current rate is 67%. Our goal is to hit 75%. The 6-year graduation goal is 60%, and our current status is 45%. And our 3-year graduation goal for our transfer students is 75%, and our current status is 55%. So you see that we have work to do. And to achieve these goals requires that all of us have an unrelenting focus on our students and their needs. Plus, and perhaps even more critically, genuine concern for student outcomes and the courage to try new approaches. This fall, we reorganized our student affairs functions into 2 areas. One focused on student access and achievement, with a team organized to support student academic achievement from first contact to graduation, and the other on student development, to support our students in their personal, social, and leadership development. Both areas are tasked with working collaboratively for the benefit of our students. The student access and achievement area is focused on creating and delivering an unparalleled student experience. To accomplish that, they're working on redesigning the student experience, providing greater support and coordination for students as they navigate important but sometimes confusing processes and systems. We're blending specialized technology with the best of human interaction, using predictive analytics to analyze student needs and to provide targeted interventions and proactive strategic care to our students. We're strengthening pathways to graduation, refining degree maps to make it easier for students to clearly see what courses they need and when. We're working on creating even closer collaboration among all the advising units to provide a more consistent experience for our students. We're putting systems in place for earlier student engagement, from first-year experience to career services, so that they can have more direction. We're focusing on undecided students, helping them explore their interests around clusters of careers or meta majors. And we're looking at the spaces in the Student Commons building and considering how we might achieve a more approachable layout for our students to access services there. The Student Development Team is focused on two key initiatives. They are planning for a first-year housing and dining facility that will be located right in the heart of our CU Denver neighborhood. This project was identified as a top priority in our facilities master plan. To help fund this project, we're in the process of selecting a private partner to operate Campus Village and develop the adjacent vacant land. Our goal is to offer a competitively priced on-campus living and learning option. We know that health status impacts students' ability to engage, learn, and succeed. Surveys tell us that college students across the country are experiencing high rates of depression and anxiety. On our campus, the Office of Case Management and the care team report that referrals are up 44% compared to this time last year, and as compared to fall 2015, they are up 241%. To better address these needs, we are developing a strategic plan for mental wellness. This will incorporate best practices that emphasize prevention, support a sense of belonging, and enhance a culture of wellness. Our second priority is advance excellence and innovation in teaching, research, and creative work. We know that great teaching is at the heart of student success, and that by being educated by knowledge creators distinguishes the learning experience for our students. I want to call out 3 initiatives that underscore our commitment to excellence in teaching. This year, the Center for Faculty Development selected faculty members to participate in the Association of Community and University Educators online course that prepares them to use research-based techniques that help students succeed. The theme of our recent Undergraduate Experiences Symposium was Teaching and Learning in the 21st Century. The day included faculty presentations on topics such as community-based learning, inclusive pedagogy, undergraduate research and creative activities, and peer-based learning. And Think Studio is a faculty-created initiative that is becoming known nationally in the digital pedagogy networks. Through innovation and experimentation, faculty across disciplines are working to enhance teaching and learning. Now connected to the Office of Digital Education, Think Studio serves as an incubator for future-ready teaching. Speaking of digital education, exciting work is underway to develop a $15,000 undergraduate degree. This is in response to the Board of Regents' resolution directed at increasing access and affordability. We are also developing additional online courses that will be available through concurrent enrollment for Colorado high school students. And to better serve the educational needs of the working adult population, we are taking advantage of the synergies between CU South Denver and our Office of Digital Education through shared leadership. South Denver has honed their strategic focus on executive education and professional development. And the Office of Digital Education is collaborating with our schools and colleges to expand the availability of fully online and blended degree and certificate programs. In partnership with the Anschutz Medical Campus, we are actively exploring innovative health-related programs with a focus on interdisciplinary, market-driven, and collaborative initiatives that leverage the academic expertise of both campuses. And this fall, we are creating health and wellness clusters, which are interdisciplinary majors that prepare students for health and health-related careers. In our crowded educational marketplace, one of CU Denver's most important differentiators is our role as an urban research university. This last year, our faculty brought in over $25 million of sponsored research, in addition to numerous grants and contracts with area businesses and governmental agencies. Also, creative works ranging from plays, books on a variety of topics, and award-winning documentaries were produced by our faculty. And this spring, we'll be starting a new tradition to celebrate scholarly achievements. Thanks to Drs. Bob and Lenny Damrauer, in addition to a Chancellor's Distinguished Lecture by a renowned visiting scholar, we are adding a Chancellor's Distinguished Lecture presented by one of our own CU Denver faculty members. Thank you, Bob and Lenny. And let me give you a sampling of the remarkable and relevant scholarly work that is taking place in our schools and colleges. Our policy experts at our School of Public Affairs are regularly sought after for thought leadership on issues of national and global significance. And year after year, SPA is ranked as the top public affairs school in Colorado and among the best in the nation. Our School of Education and Human Development won a prestigious National Best Practice Award for promoting diversity in teacher education. They were honored for their work to develop career pathways that address the state's severe teacher shortage and turnover issue. Our College of Arts and Media has developed a reputation for having some of the best high school summer arts camps in America. Featuring contemporary music, film, and visual arts, the camps are an important recruitment pipeline that most recently included participants from 23 states and 3 countries. In the College of Architecture and Planning, students designed and built an award-winning community space for Colorado Outward Bound in Moab, Utah. The Urban and Regional Planning Department is studying what equity means in areas including housing, health, and transportation. In our business school, a $1.3 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education is funding Colorado's only Center for International Business Education and Research, otherwise known as CYBER. Their focus is to prepare current and future practitioners to conduct business in a digital, disrupted, and dynamic global environment. In the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, a team of CU Denver electrical engineering faculty, along with Boulder colleagues, have received a $4.5 million federal grant to design drones to improve the safety and environmental sustainability of underground facilities like subway tunnels, mines, and caves. In the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the breadth of scholarly activities is as wide-ranging as are the disciplines within that college. They include improving wireless emergency alerts, getting a clearer understanding of public opinion on allocating limited healthcare resources, exploring boundaries of migration research, and promoting success in undergraduate mathematics through graduate teacher training. We also know that high-quality facilities are important in supporting excellence in teaching and scholarly activities. We've invested over $40 million to make improvements in the North Classroom building. This includes the renovation of 30 classrooms, new recitation and student study rooms, wireless connectivity in all classrooms, and, importantly, upgrading the bathrooms. This project is scheduled to be completed next spring. A little further up Spear Boulevard, we are making plans to build a state-of-the-art facility for our engineering college. This project is ranked as the CU system's #1 priority and second among the state's new higher ed projects. A program plan for the building is being developed that will match the college's ambitions to prepare engineers of the future. We're requesting half the $72 million cost from the state, and the other half will come from private gifts and university reserves. Another construction project is the infill of the courtyard at the business school. With funding from benefactor Jake Jabs, along with an investment from the business school, there will be event spaces, new classrooms, seminar rooms, conference rooms, and offices. The new Jake Jabs Event Center is scheduled to be completed in spring of 2020. Our third priority is to strengthen our position as a vital community asset. 2 years ago, we reclaimed the tagline, "See You in the City." This captures our aspiration to make CU Denver better known as an urban hub of knowledge, discovery, and partnership. And it's working. Here are 2 highlights from a recent study that measured CU Denver's brand awareness in the market. Among Denver Metro residents, 52% would recommend CU Denver to a friend or family member. That is nearly double of what it was 4 years ago. And Denver Metro residents gave significantly higher image rankings of CU Denver than in the past in all areas that were measured, including academic quality, groundbreaking research, and experiential learning opportunities. In October, we opened City Center at CU Denver at the corner of 14th and Lawrence. This is our front door to the community. It's the place where we are connecting the expertise of our faculty and the ingenuity of our students to the region's governmental, business, and nonprofit sectors, helping to find new solutions to challenging urban issues. As part of that work, we're creating an inventory of our expertise in such areas as affordable housing, transportation alternatives, health disparities, educational inequities, sustainable development, and the impact of arts and culture. The inaugural undertaking for City Center is called Imagine a Great Region, and it will foster cross-sector regional conversations on growth while conducting research to inform these conversations. The Gates Family Foundation has provided a planning grant, and other partners include the Denver Regional Council of Governments and Channel 7 News. And with the support of TIAA, we'll soon be selecting 7 faculty, 1 from each of our schools and colleges, to serve as Chancellor's Engaged Scholars. They will receive a stipend, and their work on urban issues will be highlighted. Our 4th priority is to create a more cohesive, collaborative, and inclusive CU Denver culture. If we've learned anything from recent events in our country and around the world, it's that our commitment to creating and maintaining an environment that is welcoming, safe, and inclusive for everyone is more important than ever. CU Denver must always be a place where diverse ideas and viewpoints are analyzed, debated, and discussed with respect and civility. It's a place where faculty freely conduct research and teach truth within the standards of their disciplines. Freedom of expression and academic freedom are fundamental to the existence of higher education and our contributions to society. As President Benson often says, our job is not to teach students what to think, but rather how to think. When people ask me why I weigh in on issues such as DACA, hate crimes, or actions that attempt to divide us based on our differences, I tell them the truth. These issues are not political to me. They are matters that affect real people, including members of our CU Denver family. I believe the strength of CU Denver is rooted in our respect and compassion for one another. An example is our new You Are Welcome Here campaign that reaches out to international students in multiple ways, from the Denver Mayor's Welcome, the Connect to Campus event, and the popular See You at the Table program. We have maintained our international student enrollment in no small part because of the welcoming environment we provide to those studying here from other countries. And when divisive issues do arise, we take action. Following concerns about the potential location of Inc. Coffee in this wellness center, we established the Auraria Task Force on Gentrification and Urban Displacement. This tri-institutional group, consisting of students, faculty, and staff, is reviewing policies and practices to acknowledge and address the Auraria campus's role in gentrification and urban displacement. The task force will offer recommendations to campus leadership by next July for how we can be more proactive and responsive. And a few weeks back, we held the Chancellor's first diversity showcase, coordinated by the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. It was a wonderful gathering right here in this room with 44 exhibits by groups ranging from undocumented student services to disability resources and services. The displays illustrated CU Denver's comprehensive approach to diversity and inclusion and provided an opportunity for all of us to learn more about how we can engage. And finally, CU Denver is proud to serve over 1,000 military-connected students. We thank them for their service. Our Office of Veteran Services was recently ranked number 8 by Military Times for colleges best in the country for vets. This is up from number 11 last year. Our fifth priority is to achieve long-term financial stability and sustainability. Of course, none of our priorities is achievable without financial stability. Starting with the current fiscal year, we implemented an incentive-based budget model. It aligns our investments and resources with our strategic priorities by incentivizing the types of activities that drive both student and financial success. This is especially important given the reality that 80% of our budget comes from tuition and fees. In addition, the new model increases transparency so that everyone understands how the budget works and their role in ensuring our financial sustainability. Our planning and budgeting process now includes a forum for our schools, colleges, and central support units to discuss strategies and work together to achieve our priorities. And it provides incentives and authority to our schools and colleges to grow revenue, contain costs, and reallocate resources within their budgets, putting them in control of their own long-term success. This, in turn, propels the long-term success of CU Denver. And going forward, we know that philanthropy will play an even more important role. Last year, we raised a record $20.8 million in private gifts. And here's a pride point for all of us. Since January of 2017, our faculty and staff, all of you, have collectively contributed $1 million to the Links Up Scholarship Initiative. That's worth a round of applause. It's true that philanthropy begins at home, and in our case, right here among each of us. We're making preparations for the system-wide Essential CU fundraising campaign that will launch in January. This coincides with the conclusion of the remarkably impactful 11-year tenure of President Bruce Benson. The legacy that he and his wife Marcy have created has served the university incredibly well. He's been a great friend to CU Denver, and we'll miss him. As the presidential transition takes place, you can be assured that we'll continue advocating for the unique role and contributions of CU Denver. We've accomplished a great deal, and much more is in the works. In fact, some may say that we're overreaching. There may be something to that, but I believe that we are at a pivotal time in the life of CU Denver. In fact, I believe we are poised to move from good to great. The thing we know about high-performing organizations is that there is no silver bullet or revolutionary innovation that's behind their success. Rather, they have clarity and intentionality about their goals and focus and discipline around their execution. They are bolstered by a sense of shared responsibility and a culture of trust. That's an aspiration I hope we all share. We are a complex organization. We are very good at a lot of things, and there is always room for improvement. We must learn from our failures and our successes and be able to face the hard truths when they arise. I want you to know that when there are problems or issues, we have a leadership team that takes them seriously. Just as we want our students to feel listened to, valued, and respected, that is what we can and should expect of each other. Recently, our campus leadership, the cabinet and deans, spent an afternoon defining the components that power CU Denver. We drew upon the work of Jim Collins, an author and advisor to business and social sector leaders. One of his tools is the concept of a flywheel, which is a heavy revolving wheel in a machine that is used to increase the machine's momentum and provide greater stability. Collins developed the flywheel effect to describe what happens when an organization identifies the primary components of their flywheel, understands how they best link together, and turn by turn builds momentum and achieves strategic compounding that leads to long-term success. As we considered what we know and believe about the essence of CU Denver, we identified these essential elements. We first invest in top-notch faculty, staff, and facilities, through which we cultivate a student-centered, collaborative, and inclusive culture. This enables us to deliver exceptional teaching, research, and service. As a result, we attract and graduate purposeful, high-potential, diverse students. They, in turn, fuel the region's economic, social, and cultural prosperity. That allows us to grow a multifaceted resource base, which brings us right back to the top of the loop, where we invest more in our people and our infrastructure. And this is a flywheel that we need to get turning. It isn't static. Rather, it means evolving, expanding, and extending our capacity to innovate aggressively at each step along the way to build and accelerate our momentum. I ask each of you to consider, where on the flywheel do you join with others so that together we can gain even more traction? What are your ideas to help us create and sustain good to great breakthroughs at steps along the way? This is an exhilarating journey, one that allows us to move our flywheel even more powerfully and lifts our individual efforts into collective, unstoppable strength. In my mind, that calls on the best in each of us and is truly work worth doing. A few weeks back, we hosted our first donor celebration for CU Denver. My closing remarks to that group seem fitting to share with you. I like this quote by Henry David Thoreau. "It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see." And because of you, we see a future that is ripe with promise and potential. We see a future where every student with the capability and the desire to earn a CU Denver degree can do so without a financial barrier. We see a future where, because of our quality academics and deep community connections, CU Denver is recognized as the knowledge partner and talent provider of choice in our region. We see a future where our students are sought after as thought leaders, problem solvers, and decision makers in our community and beyond. We see a future in which CU Denver is widely regarded as one of our city's indisputable assets. I believe our aim is clear, and like our students, the trajectory for CU Denver is set high. It's my honor to be your Chancellor. I am grateful for and humbled by all you do each and every day for our university and the students in the community that we serve. None of the accomplishments that I've highlighted today and all the other ones that I didn't have time for would be possible without you. Your commitment to our mission, your energy and your dedication are central to our achievements, and they hold the promise of an even brighter future for CU Denver. Thank you. So I think the hot chocolate is brewing around the corner here, but before we head over there, we do have time for a few questions. If any of you, if there's something I've said that's piqued your interest or prompted a question in your mind, or anything else that you'd like to say. I think the acoustics are decent here, so if you would just stand up from where you are, if you do have a question or comment, we'd love to hear it. We have mics, woohoo! Okay, so you don't have to shout from the rafters. I'm not seeing. Did I put you to sleep? Okay, well, I think, there is one. Yes, please. There's somebody's coming up the stairs here, all the way to the top.
I noticed that during your point about, I guess, financial sustainability, you noted that you wanted to create a more transparent budget plan, and also that a lot of the budget does come from tuition and fees.
Right.
I was just wondering if that would include a reinstatement of the itemized list for students so that they know what their tuition is going towards.
You know, there are probably people in the audience that can provide a more complete answer for you, but what I can tell you is the answer to your question is yes. And in fact, just at last week's Board of Regents meeting, Todd Solomon, who is the Vice President for Budget and Administration at the system, profiled a tool that's going to be available online for students that allows you to actually see every cost that you are going to be paying, and that you can plan using that tool in advance for how it is that, depending upon what you're able to bring in terms of resources from a job or scholarships, of how that impacts. So if Jennifer or Tobin or Jen have anything to add to that. Yes, okay. Jennifer, I passed that, so that's pretty good for somebody who doesn't particularly like numbers. No offense to the mathematics folks in the room. Yes. If somebody could get a mic over here to Melina, please. There's one hand close by.
Chancellor Horrell, I want to thank you for your leadership. I think that all of the points that you brought up today resonate with all of us who have been working very hard to support those initiatives. We understand very well that success of our students only is reflective of how we're putting the work into helping advance that. And there's no question that how we also reach out to all of our external community partners is pivotal, important, and many of us support that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Just today at lunch, we hosted a couple of our Denver legislators, and we've got a couple of folks from our legislative affairs team from the system office with us today. And it was really, it was fun, actually, to be able to share with them a lot of the work that we're doing, and we hosted the lunch right in the city center. And if you haven't been there, just go hang out, because it's really terrific to be in that space and just see our students and the broader community coming in and out. And it illustrates, I think, those connections that you're talking about, and how vital, and that when we say our doors are open to you and we want to be your partner, and here's how we're going to do that, that it will fuel our flywheel. Try saying that 3 times fast. But because they will believe that they cannot do without us. And one of the legislators is going to be chairing the Business and Labor Committee. Is that right, Regina? Business, Melbourne, yeah. And so her question to us was, how, from the legislature, can we help you make more of those partnerships possible, and how can we speak to the business community on your behalf? Let me count the ways. I think I saw a hand up here. Yes, there's here in the middle section. Oh, she's got a mic?
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Okay, great. All right, I saw one up there too.
I serve on the campus staff council, and one of the biggest questions that we get, and the biggest thing that we've talked about for probably the longest, is the tuition waiver benefit. And I wanted to ask about your views on possibly expanding that, and also how you talked about really investing in faculty and staff, and professional development opportunities for staff, and continuing to increase those.
Great. So I probably can't speak specifically to the details of the tuition benefit, but I know that that's something that we have invested in, and we'll do our very best to continue to invest in that, because it's so important for you and family members to be able to do that. If Carolyn Bronowell is here, she would tell you that I have been an unbroken record. Carolyn is our AVC for Human Resources. There she is. Hi, Carolyn. About training and professional development, right? And we are talking about that in multiple ways, because we do have to keep up with our students. We invest in their learning, and I talk oftentimes about needing to be a learning organization ourselves, that we're learning for the benefit of ourselves, but the larger work that we're doing as well. And so I know that there are some initiatives underway in that area, and just had a conversation right before this session began about investing in our faculty, and the Center for Faculty Development is absolutely doing a fabulous job. And we need to even do more for all of our faculty members, including those who are our instructors and lecturers, as well as those that are the clinical teaching professors, as well as those on the tenure and tenure track, because that's at the heart of what we do, and so that kind of an investment is really important. And we're looking at things in some of the support areas about how do we increase our capacity in the area of project management, and really seeing how do we. I talked about execution. It's important that we focus and have intentionality, but the way that we are able to really turn that into action that makes a difference is when we do it in disciplined kind of ways. And there is science around how you do that, and so bringing some of that into ourselves as well.
I have the microphone.
Okay.
Is it working? No. I can just ask loudly if that's okay. So what do you see the role of parents and families playing in student success, and what can you do to engage?
So her question is, what's the role of parents and families in student success? And it's absolutely key. None of us get through this alone at all. And when I talked about the mental health issues of our students, of course, we need to be very attentive to that, but we also need to help parents and families develop the tools so that they too can be a part of helping to support students and help provide them encouragement, help be a sounding board, paying attention, knowing for them to know what to look at and for. I see the newsletter that goes to our parents and families, and it's fabulous. Good. Is that your area? Okay, good. And it's terrific to see the kinds of things that we are doing in that area, because it truly is a partnership, and they are invested in their students, and we join arms with them, I think, in providing that support structure. Here's one over here. How many students do we have here today? Would you all stand up and just to let us welcome you and give you a round of applause? You're why we're here. I think Christy was telling me that her entire first-year experience class was coming today, so that's great. So, question from up here.
Hi, Chancellor Horrell. My name is Chelsea. I'm an undergraduate student. My question is towards the Area Task Force for Gentrification and Urban Displacement. I am the CU Denver student representative. I'm part of the committee. My question is, I know that the task force was created in line with the student-led driven #NoInk on our hands. My question to you is, how many student representatives are on the task force, and how are the students chosen? Is it chosen by the committee members? Because that could be a little bit biased in terms of selecting specific voices, okay, and leaving out those who are could be a part and enhancing in making a change in terms of voicing the concerns that either they are affected by it, if they were part of the gentrification history with their families, because it's really important to have students on the committee, but it's who are they? Are they also CCD, Metro, just CU Denver students, and are they, or just non-students of color?
So the question is about the gentrification and urban displacement task force. Is Brenda Allen here? I don't know that she may be out at Anschutz today. Brenda is the lead on this project, and I cannot, unfortunately, specifically answer your question, but if you'll connect with Diana Kelly, Diana, raise your hand, she's right up here at the top, and give her your name, we will make sure to get back to you. What I can tell you is that it is tri-institutional, so I believe there are students from all 3 campuses on the Aurora campus, as well as faculty and staff. And any of us who know Brenda Allen, I think we can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be a very diverse representative group. But I'll get back to you, or we'll get back to you with the answer to that, unless anybody else here knows any more about it than what I do specifically. Anybody else? Okay. Thanks for that question. Okay, well, how about time for a little hot chocolate? So we've got, hang on just a minute here, because it was mentioned by Amber that when you leave, and we've got folks posted, that you'll be receiving hot off the press, year in review, that's a highlight of 2017-2018 accomplishments here at CU Denver. And inside it is the guest pass for a one-day complimentary visit to the Wellness Center. So this publication will be something that helps us to tell our story, and it has lots of statistics and facts in it, and it also includes profiles of a number of our students, faculty, staff, and alumni that really talk about the successes that we've achieved over the past year. And I admit that I'm guilty of not yet using the hot tub, because I won't be using the climbing wall, but I might use a treadmill from time to time, and I need to do that. So anybody who comes up and wants to make a date with me to go to the hot tub, maybe we could consider that. But wellness, you know, I spoke specifically about the wellness of our students, but I would also say that we need to be concerned and paying attention to our own wellness for our faculty and staff as well. And that's going to be a part, I think, Raul, of the comprehensive plan that you are putting together. So we are so fortunate to have this kind of a facility that is chock full of wonderful amenities and spaces that can support that, right here. So no matter whether you do it here or elsewhere, I hope that you will make a priority for yourself individually of taking care of yourself, because we cannot do this work if we don't come from a healthy place ourselves. So now let's go enjoy a cup of hot chocolate. Thanks again for being here.